beginning and end, taking like a year and a half to make was what made me just turn it all round, and I don't want to make records like that anymore. This is where a lot of my theories and a lot of, you know, this performance-based, and because I like performance-based records anyway, I always have, like, you know, old country records, Patsy Cline and things like that, where you can hear a band in a room. The kind of musicianship and the kind of level of playing that I like comes from, you know, players that are like 35 to 50 to 60 to 70, you know, those guys know what they're doing, and like, I'm trying to put a nod in that direction at 27 and playing with the other guys in the band is like 25 and 23. To do with Soldier in the Rose was write a song in a day and record it on the night. It's only between beginning and the end of Soldier in the Rose did I realise that it's the period of work that constitutes whether it makes a record or not. So over a month period, a 30-day period, what we did was I'd write all day, and then Lee and Chris would get down to the studio for about between 8 and 9 and 10, and I'd just hand them a lyric sheet that I'd printed off with, you know, chords written on it sometimes, sometimes not, and say, okay, let's go, and then we'd just press record and play, and we'd do it within 2 takes, 3 takes. But we started calling them then, and what was diary entry songs, and we carried on doing that for a month until there was, you know, a double record's worth of material there.
I am too tired to sleep anymore. I am too numb to feel what I've done, and the thunder outside, that anything gets in my way.
So over that 30 days, I realised that the themes of my childhood and the themes of, I realised I was getting really specific on subjects.
Can't save somebody when you don't got the heart.
I didn't think that Soldier in the Rose was actually going to be the second part to what Beginning and the End was the first part of. I thought we were just simply going to be making a record. I was just going to see what it was.
I'll answer the questions that you want to know.
Soldier in the Rose is going back down to the 2 kind of important symbols in my life. One is the rose, which my mother losing a child, and then somebody gave her a painting of a rose which she put by her bedside. That symbolised my mum and that kind of feeling of wanting to be there for my mum. And then the soldier was pictures of soldiers that was in my house, and we had like a statue of one which symbolised getting on with things and moving forward. So having a double record, 20 songs, where each actual individual problem in my life or anything that had happened to me through childhood, through being hit, or for finding out who you are and what your purpose is, juxtaposed to what's happened to you. Does that make you who you are, or are you who you are anyway? But taking those individual issues and just putting a magnifying glass on them and doing them just to be the opposite of beginning and the end in that way, so that it's just, let's get down to the absolute nitty-gritty. There's, you know, I don't care how dark this record is, and I want it to be simple.
The night comes fading in, and you don't know where to begin this time. This time.
That is what had shaped who I was, really, was the death of my sister, and feelings of needing to be there for the people from a young age, and then, you know, soldiering on physically through any kind of physical pains. After Soldier in the Rose, I thought that, like, I had a complete, well, I didn't have a complete breakdown, but it was the wrong thing to do. Darko, and even, I mean, you couldn't really get further down than Soldier in the Rose anyway, for me. And I thought, this is just going to kill me.
Just think we're not the same. Open your movement of suicide.
So we had all these songs, and then we had another 20, and we found ourselves in a position of having all this material but not being able to go out there and do it, because Beginning and the End couldn't be done because we didn't have enough band members. Soldier in the Rose couldn't be done because the work, I mean, it led me just to one of the worst places I've ever been in my life, and just was completely an open wound, and there's no way that I could go and play those songs live every single night, because I would have ended up killing myself, or I'd have ended up dead through something, because it just, you know, drink or drugs or whatever would have happened, I don't know. So then that turned out to be, yeah, that is the second part, because it's just so the second part of what was going on with Beginning and the End. So we were sitting on 2 finished records that couldn't be released. We're sitting on all these other recordings that have been done here, there and everywhere. And so Soldier in the Rose was kind of finished in the November, and then December, January, February, March, you know, over the next 4 months I just thought long and hard about what the hell I was going to do, whether I wanted to carry on doing this at all or not, and thought that I'm going to give it one more go. I'm going to finish this trilogy of records.